The number one challenge in women and in cybersecurity in general is that there just aren't enough of them. It's women, men, people in general, and for women I think it's a really interesting opportunity because we see things a lot differently without going down this like completely stereotyped path. But women tend to link X to Y in a different way than men do. So we think in terms of connections of things. It's sort of built into the DNA. And I think that makes it a really interesting opportunity for women. And you don't have to be a computer science person. You don't have to be trained in this in order to do it. You can just say, oh wait, I saw that one and that reminded me of that and that and that and that and that. And that's what we're looking for in cybersecurity. The ability to connect dots and draw pictures of what's going on in the environment. And I think women, one of the challenges is getting people interested in it, because it sounds like, you know, when they portray cybersecurity in ads or whatever, they have people staring at screens. And it's like, oh, look, there's a screen. Why would I want to do that for a living? And I can't answer it. I don't do that for a living either, right? You know, but this is a much more complex environment than that. It's people looking at things that other people are doing and actually connecting cybersecurity to people. I think it's one of the things that would bring women into the field. And I think it's a really interesting field for women, and I think they should really look at it and really consider going into it, because I think they'd find it much more interesting. We have a grand time doing it. I mean, it's hard as all get out, and sometimes it's really disturbing and scary, but it's really interesting. It keeps your attention forever, and it's a good field to be in. It is not going to hurt you to learn how to program. I mean, programming these days is like writing used to be. You know, it used to be that you learned you learned penmanship and all that. Now you learn programming. Just go do it. Go take the courses. You don't have to go into programming as an art forever, but it gives you a little bit of the basis. And then just try it. Just keep going and go find something that really attracts you. And then you can apply that skill to cybersecurity. The cyber community in general, especially historically, has been filled with, well, the people on the Big Bang Theory have nothing on this population, right? They don't speak the same language as everybody else, but we need to communicate to other people. And in order to communicate effectively, you have to have some EQ. You need to be able to translate from the person who is in there on the keyboard saying, oh yeah, this is the IP address and here's what we looked at in the packet, and be able to go to other person and said, bad things happen, in a meaningful way that gives them enough breadth and depth on the activity itself without inundating them with geek talk. So the EQ piece of it is being able to translate from what happened to what you need to do from a policy and procedure and reaction mode. And I think that's critical. It's critical across the IT industry also, but I think for cybersecurity, because it is such a ones and zeros enterprise, being able to take that and say, this is what those ones and zeros meant at the end of the day, and being able to translate it so that it results in the actions that need to happen. We don't quite know whether privacy or security is more important, and they're not necessarily the same answer. So they're two sides of the same coin, but they don't necessarily have the same answer. And from the perspective of policy in general, this country has not decided what is the most important. So then to not have that question, or even what the balance is between those two. And they're both really, really critical, and they're both requiring resources. So putting everybody in the same place at the same time, we try and make sure that we are managing risk. It's the same with any organization though too. You have to manage the risk organizationally, but I don't think we're close to the nirvana of everybody going down the same path. A lot of times people look at cybersecurity and think that it's a business of making computers do things to other computers. In reality, this is people doing things to other people. It's people sending spear phishing messages to other people, people responding to spear phishing messages, people taking money from people. So this is not about some abstract machine things doing stuff to other machine things. This is actually real human beings attacking other real human beings or protecting themselves from real human beings. And I think that's a critical piece, because when you think in terms of, you know, all the tools that you can put in place to do orchestration and things like that. One of the hardest parts with cybersecurity is you got a person at the other end of the thing that is still thinking of ways to get around all of your defenses, and you're still thinking of ways to protect yourself from that person and what could that person start thinking about. That's why we're never going to get rid of people in the cybersecurity realm. It is too much a person discipline. The challenges are the threat is very big and very pervasive and has many avenues. It's hard to find the people to do the jobs that need to be done. We work very hard to do it. We get a lot of people doing a lot of things, and we're very aggressive about those kind of things. But it's just a very big challenge. It's the same challenge that the rest of the world faces. And it's not just us. It's not just, you know, we fight this battle every day. So far, we're breaking even. This is a fabulous conference. The quality of the people on the stage, not just me, but the real ones, you know, they were really good, and they made some great comments. The attendees were engaged and interested, and for a first time, this was a terrific turnout, and obviously very high quality people who came to this conference. I'm really impressed.